I thought a fairly clean game. We had full Sunbelt officiating crew, so anytime we get an opportunity to have officials here, we have to make it worthwhile. So, we didn't really turn the football over much. We had the strip sack, but I wanted a clean game on offense, but on defense, obviously, we got to continue to take care of the football. I thought we did a better job of tackling in the open space, so I thought that was progression from practice 1 to practice 14. So I thought that was good. So really, really productive.
I feel like from beginning to now, the chemistry has picked up definitely, especially with the O-line. We got some new guys playing in some different roles and things like that. Mason Myers starting in center now. He played a few games last year, so he's doing really well, kind of taking that leadership role in the O-line. And just the people on the edges, they're finally getting to where they can apply what they're learning in the meetings onto the field and play more confidently.
Arkansas State held their annual Pac Day spring game 2 weeks ago. The black team, the offense, defeated the scarlet team, the defense, 60-38. But this wasn't your regular spring game. Joining us now to talk about the Red Wolves is my guy, Mike Harley of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. So, Mike, listen, I wasn't at the game. I was tied up with a lot of NFL draft stuff locally. That's a lot of points on the board, man. Give us your assessment of the game. And you said that this wasn't an easy event to write about in your article. Why is that?
I mean, just with the kind of amount of players, only about 40 on each side, they just went offense and defense strictly. But it was not really a normal 11-on-11 game format. There were times where they would go 11-on-11, and there was times where they were doing one-on-one segments and, lineman drills, receiver, defensive back drills. So the scoring really didn't make a whole lot of sense, to be honest. But and I mean, there was even a time where Coach Jones went up in the stands and was having fans call plays. So,
that's dope.
So it was a fun environment, and a lot of different things going on. But the score itself really didn't really tell you much, if that makes sense.
Understood. Well, usually these spring games, they're usually glorified scrimmages, right? But there were some dope moments. What were some of the key plays that you saw that kind of really got the crowd's attention?
Well, I think just on the offensive side, Jalen Raynor had a couple touchdowns. He had a long one to Corey Rucker Jr. Obviously, they were a dynamic duo last season, so that got the fans on their feet, and probably the loudest the crowd got during the game there. I think they had about a 40-yard touchdown. And then defensively, there's a lot of new faces on the defensive side, but there were some hard hits out there. Some of the newer players, A.G. McGee's a safety that comes to mind, that he was really coming downhill and making a lot of big plays. So, it's a spring game, so you kind of take it with a grain of salt, but there were some moments that definitely got the crowd into it.
Understood. Now, the spring window of the transfer portal closed Friday before the game, so players can no longer jump into the portal. It's nice to see that starting quarterback Jalen Raynor was out there, man, along with 3 other QBs. How good is that Raynor is back for his 3rd straight year?
Well, it's huge just in this transfer portal era where, they're not really, a lot of these Power 4 schools are looking to supplement their roster with guys from the group of 5. So, a guy like Raynor could have been easily picked off, but, he stayed. We asked him about it after the practice, and he stayed. He said basically his goal is to lead this team.
Love it.
He said you can always jump for more money somewhere else, but, they make you a lot of promises, but those promises don't always, lead to what you're looking for. And as he said, his goal is to get to the NFL. So he thinks he can do that, being the starting quarterback at Arkansas State.
Poised on and off the field. I really, really love that kid's demeanor. With the portal closed now, what does that mean for the roster as well as the players that participated in the spring game that we saw?
Well, it means some of the craziness will slow down a little bit, fortunately. Even in the press conference after the game, Coach Jones addressed the portal and how, basically saying they need to get some rules and regulations in there, or as he said, coaches are just going to start having press conferences to announce who's been tampering with who.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of that going on. But yeah, like I said, so with the portal closed now, players can no longer jump in, but you could still supplement and add players. So I know Arkansas State's planning on adding at least probably 6 to 8 more players, most likely.
Okay.
So not a huge, kind of that roster we saw on Saturday, at the game, on the spring game was kind of close to what we'll see in the fall, but they do try to, plan to add, a couple more guys. Usually those are players who thought they were going to get bigger offers than they got, and then they kind of end up, looking for something kind of less than what they had expected.
Yeah, man, it's the new landscape of college football and college athletics as a whole. Arkansas State has a new defensive coordinator. His name is Griff McCarley, promoted from his role as the linebackers coach for A-State. What did you think of the new offense that he's implementing right now?
Defense, but
Yes.
it's
The defense.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was a linebacker coach last season, so it's really not a complete overhaul from what Rob Harley was doing there last season.
Okay.
It looks very similar. There's going to be some tweaks and some different things, and obviously every coordinator kind of has their own style. Now that's going to be hard to glean in a spring game, obviously. So we'll see what that looks like when they go up against SEMO in August. But McCarthy, he's a young guy getting his first opportunity, and he's going to have a brand new defense because you know they virtually lost their entire secondary, their starting secondary, and then you know a lot of guys along the defensive line and linebacker core as well. So I think the spring was important for the team, just kind of get some of those newer guys kind of up to speed with what they're doing. But really, it'll be interesting to see what the defense looks like because not only is it going to be a slightly new system, but a lot of new faces on that side as well.
Now, unfortunately, the portal giveth and it also taketh away, as we know. Who from Arkansas State decided to transfer, and how does that affect the Red Wolves going forward?
Well, the biggest one recently would have been McKeelan Thomas, the big left tackle that from Little Rock. He's on his way to Virginia. I heard, none of these numbers, you never know if they're accurate or not, but I heard about $800,000, which I think for a college kid, it's kind of hard to pass up that type of money.
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest loss in recent, but like you said, it gives and it takes. Javante Mackey's another player that was here with the Red Wolves in 2023, an all freshman player. He went to Memphis last year, and now he's back in the fold, transferred back. So there's been some moving parts. Really, Arkansas State hasn't been hit as hard as a lot of programs. You know, I think it's South Alabama losing their quarterback, Gio Lopez, to North Carolina. So Arkansas State, they took some losses. Thomas being the largest, but really they've been able to avoid some of the mass exodus that a lot of Group of 5 programs have been faced with.
That's really good to know, especially for next season. Lastly, only 3 people from the state of Arkansas got drafted into the NFL this year. 2 of them are Razorbacks, and of course, David Walker of UCA. But Arkansas State had 3 guys signed with teams as undrafted free agents, Mike, and then some.
Yeah, the 3 guys assigned, Jacob Bayer, he was kind of the prospect that probably had the most opportunity or the biggest chance to get drafted. Some had him going as high as the 5th round. He ended up going undrafted, but got an opportunity with the Buffalo Bills. He really made his name at the Senior Bowl, kind of got on the radar of a lot of scouts after his performance down there in Mobile. But Courtney Jackson and Trey Thomas, they're both, Jackson's on his way to Denver, and Trey Thomas is going to Carolina. So they're more likely going to be special teams additions if they're able to crack a roster. It'll be just because of their special teams. You know, Courtney Jackson, one of the best punt returners in the Sun Belt.
Okay.
And Trey Thomas has been a long time a special teams player as well before he became an all conference safety. So those guys, and then even a guy like Zach Wallace, the running back, he got an opportunity to get invite to the Atlanta Falcons rookie minicamp. So, those are kind of the bigger ones we're looking out for. Bayer probably has the best chance of cracking a roster, but like I said, with the special teams ability of Thomas and Jackson, I wouldn't be surprised to see those guys at least make it to the August camp, the official training camp, because none of this stuff is guaranteed when you're an undrafted guy.
Whew, that was a lot to digest, Mike. Thank you so much for catching us up, man. We appreciate you coming through as always, brother.
Always good being down here, Josh. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. Much more on Final Score when we return.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.